Listen to your mother, even when she lies. It's been said that the truth will set you free, but sometimes it's the lies that set you free. My mom, of course, would say, she never lied to me. She would say she was just explaining new perspective when I was confused. Well, the first thing I remember needing new perspective on were pork chops. I had tried them, and based on experience, I hated them. But on more than one occasion, when I complained about pork chops for dinner, my mom would say, "But pork chops are your favorite." "I hate pork chops," I'd say. "You love pork chops," she'd reply. "Last time, you ate them all." Then, midway through dinner, halfway through my pork chop, I'd realize I was right. I did, in fact, hate pork chops. This didn't just happen the one time. So naturally, my brothers think this is a story about how gullible I was as a child. But I think it speaks more to my mother's powers of persuasion. What she said with so much confidence that I believed her, despite my own experience. If she had caved to my fickle taste buds, I could have grown into a picky eater. But now, the girl who once hated pork chops has tried guinea pig in Peru and fish heads in Korea. I think I hated them both. You could say my mother's lie set me free. My mother's most effective lie, however, was the lie of 1985. When I was in first grade, my class announced a college sweatshirt day. Prior to this, I didn't know what college was. But somehow I came home with my sights set on the Ivy Leagues. "All right," she said. "Well, if anyone could do it, you could. Of course, you have to make all A's on all your report cards ever." "All A's?" I asked. The only grades I knew of were S for satisfactory or E for excellent. I had heard about the U, but I had never seen one. "Well," she said, "A's are the best, and if it comes down to you and one other person, they will look back in your records until they find the first mistake." We actually never spoke of grades again. We didn't have to. I'm pretty sure I was the only third grader who wrote a report on the black-footed ferret while thinking, the colleges are going to love this. It wasn't until 10th grade that I realized no one cares about elementary school. And by then, I was already on the straight and narrow path to academic excellence. In the end, I was accepted to the college of my choice and even had a good part paid for. My mother claims no memory of telling me anything like this. She also seemed very delighted by the results. She did have powers, and it would take a powerful woman to manage what happened next. In third grade, my right eye crossed, and my vision was permanently damaged by an illness. The doctors recommended patching, so I spent the better part of 1987 masquerading as a one-eyed pirate. Then after the eye patch came glasses. I had the thickest lenses money could buy, held up by the thickest frames on the market. Basically, 2 magnifying glasses strapped to my tiny 7-year-old face. I was on the swim team that summer, and I never wore my swim cap. So the chlorine turned my blonde hair a fine shade of neon green. And on top of that, my mom let me get a permanent. Combined with the chlorine, this turned my head into a brittle mop of frizzy tangles. And then there was the part no one could help, my teeth. I was tiny, but my teeth were already adult-sized, turned slightly inward. Some of the boys started calling me Rabbit and made munching sounds at me during lunch. My mom said, "Boys always pick on the girls they like." And I began to think the entire grade had a crush on me. Apparently, my teacher, Miss Broadwell, was trying to console my mother and actually said, "Sweet Jordan, she used to be so cute." and my mother cried. Now, don't get me wrong, my mom did want me to be cute, but she was not a woman obsessed with appearance. When I was in high school, my mom chaperoned a youth group mission trip, and she let some of the younger girls style her hair on the first day, using one of those round brushes with bristles all the way around. Well, the more they brushed, the more that brush got tangled into my mother's hair until it was knotted to her scalp. They tried conditioner, they tried peanut butter. When nothing worked and the bus was ready to leave, my mom solved the problem herself. She borrowed a baseball cap from one of the middle school boys and put it on sideways like a gangster, the handle sticking out the side. And then she wore it like that all day. She led songs, she taught a Bible story in front of an entire neighborhood of strangers, children, and parents alike, with a giant hairbrush sticking out of her head as though it were normal. And no one made fun of her. The woman knew how to do a thing with confidence. That is the gift she gave me. She spoke into me with confidence. My appearance as a frizzy-headed, one-eyed rabbit pirate could have scarred me, but I was oblivious. Maybe it was because I couldn't actually see anything, but I genuinely thought I was one of the cute girls. In one sense, my mother lied to me. In another sense, these lies were truer than mere facts. When she looked at me, my mom did not see what I was in that exact moment, but what I was becoming. So maybe her lies were sown like seeds that grew into truth as I grew into a woman. Temporary circumstance can have lasting negative effects on a child, but my mother taught me to live by the truth that real value comes from the heart, not from the ever-changing facts of life. So in this, like in many things, I've come to agree with my mother. She never lied to me. She just told me truth from the future that only a mother can see.